Journal Record Managing Editor Adam Brooks joins us to discuss other stories making news in business this week. Thanks for joining us, Adam.
You're welcome.
Oil and gas prices continue to fall, and it's seriously impacting the industry's bottom line. So why is the midstream industry still growing?
Well, you're right that there's less drilling than there was, say, 9 months ago because of the low prices. But there's still a lot of producing wells out there, and so the midstream industry needs to process and move that product to market. There are also a couple low-cost plays like the SCOOP and the STACK that people are still operating in, and so there's a growth opportunity there.
Meanwhile, things are not so good for Samson Resources Corporation in Tulsa. What's the latest there?
Well, Samson's been having trouble because of those low prices, and earlier this week they faced a $110 million interest payment that people didn't really think they could make. Over last weekend, they filed papers indicating that they had received $450 million in a deal with some of their creditors. Now, they still need to use that time to get right with their other creditors, and they will probably eventually file a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is a reorganization, not a liquidation.
Tulsa continues to face some issues with its Vision 2025 revitalization project, and Mayor Bartlett has addressed some of those issues. Can you fill us in?
Mayor Bartlett wants to use some of the money from that tax to hire new policemen and firefighters. That's kind of controversial. The deal with the taxes is they were passed in 2003. It's a 1/6% sales tax, but it needs to be renewed in April of next year, and this time it's going to be different. Each community is going to vote to see if they want to continue the tax or not. This is the tax that funded things like the BOK Center, some museums, and a lot of infrastructure as well.
Now, the operating room in a hospital in Chickasha has been closed. What happened there?
This is down at Grady Memorial Hospital, and the federal agency that oversees Medicare and Medicaid did an inspection and found problems with the air system, and they said, we're not paying for any more services down here, which effectively closed it down. They're not sure how long it'll take to repair. It's expensive and probably requires construction. The mayor of Chickasha held a meeting to figure out what they can do to help save the hospital. They're on pretty thin margins anyway, and with no revenue coming in, it's a very difficult time.
There are ongoing efforts to help the homeless veterans in Lawton, and now they have a novel idea to help. Is that correct?
That's right. A housing and urban development official realized, Lawton closed 4 elementary schools and a high school for at-risk students after the last school year. They want to turn those into possibly low-cost or free housing for homeless veterans and put social services there as well. The school district will sell if they have money, and the city supports it, but there's not really any money behind it. There's some hope that federal grants might help, as well as possibly donated labor and materials.
All right, Adam Brooks from the Journal Record. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.